Hey CEOs, hope you're doing all right. This is Sonia Jones of GFP Financials, your Mr. Miyagi of Money. And we are talking about report number 3 of the reports that you need to know as a CEO. This is the cash flow. Did you like that? Cash flow statement. Yeah, man, it's like that. And we're going to talk real tough about the cash flow statement because a lot of y'all around here have been misguided. And we're going to have a very mama conversation about this particular report. All right. So stay tuned. All right, CEOs, welcome back. I hope you guys are ready for this cash flow statement talk today. But before we do that, make sure you like and subscribe. All of that. 43 years old. I don't know what all the buttons are on the YouTube. But there you go. Make sure you like and subscribe because we're going to give you fundamental business finance education all the time. That's what we do. Because CEOs need to know their numbers, and we're going to break this thing down, right? So, again, like we talked about before, when we talked about our financial reports, let's review the profit and loss. We talked about the balance sheet, and so today we're talking about the cash flow statement. Think about the tree. When we talked about the tree, the balance sheet is the trunk of the tree, right? That's basically the entire structure of the financial tree, because without the balance sheet, we don't know what the business is worth. The leaves and the fruit on the tree, that's the profit and loss, right? Because if the tree is in good standing, if it's nice and healthy, we're going to have some pretty fruit on the tree. So what is the cash flow? The cash flow is actually the water. The cash flow is the water, the nourishment that feeds the tree so that it can yield this beautiful fruit, right? So if you think about it, we cannot run our businesses without cash. Can't do it. And if that tree doesn't get water, what's going to happen? It's going to get old and dusty and ashy, and it's going to die. You want your tree to die? I don't want your tree to die. I don't want my tree to die. So we got to talk about this cash flow because there are some myths to this as well. All right, so let's get into it. So the whole thing about the cash flow, again, it's the nourishment to the tree. The cash flow is going to let you know how much cash your business has to function with. Let me say this very clearly. Cash and profits are not the same thing. Cash and profit are not the same thing. Okay, when we're talking about profit, we are talking about, like we said before in the profit and loss statement, all your revenue minus all your expenses. That's your profit. And we normally talk about profit at year end or periodically, monthly, quarterly, year end, right? To see how well the business performed. When we're talking about cash, that is a never ending, discussion. In most cases, we assess that on a monthly basis. But let me just tell you this now. If you log into your business bank account and you see that you have $10,000, $20,000, I'm going to give you a high five. You got the high five. But you got to think about how long that money is going to last to keep your business afloat. That's what cash flow is. Okay? Because you got to think about all your expenses. And if you got payroll, you better not touch that cash. You better not even write yourself a check until you pay everybody else. I'm just going to tell you that. All right? This is my opinion. I'm just saying. So you have to make sure that you got your expenses, and you got to make sure that whatever your ending cash is, basically your bank statement, the ending balance on your bank statement at the end of the month, whatever that is, God forbid if you don't make any revenue the following month, is that number enough to get your business through that month of expenses? Because at the end of the day, those expenses are still there, right? So let's talk about the bare bones part of the cash flow statement. So you got the net income. That's the first part of the cash flow statement. And that's basically going to be from the profit and loss, right? Your revenue minus your expenses. You might have a little blurb in there from the net operating income, which is all your liabilities. And then the real deal Holyfield number at the bottom. That's your net income. Then the next part of your cash flow statement is going to be all your operating activities. Everything that you have to do for the business within that month's time. So, for example, inventory, your accounts payable, your accounts receivable, because that is an operating activity, money in, money coming out. Any liabilities that you have, your credit card balance, any payroll tax liabilities, or your quarterly taxes, your monthly taxes, however your state likes to do it, or however you like to, push that money over to the side and save it. Okay. And any investing activities. If you purchase any assets that are producing income, that's a section in there as well. Some businesses do. So that's a section in there. And then your financing activities, right? Which are basically your longer term loans, lines of credit, any usage of your equity, right? That's in your business. And then the cash at the end of the period. That's going to be from your balance sheet. So like I said, that should be the equivalent of the number at the bottom of your bank statement at the end of the month, or whatever your last date is for your bank statement. And in most cases, in some, not all, there might be a slight variance, between what's at the end, of the balance sheet and what may still be in the account. Things are moving and stuff, and you still have to do, make transactions and stuff throughout the end of the month into the new month, right? So just so you won't freak out, there might be some variance there. And it might also be some variance between that number and the number that's in your QuickBook. Just make sure that is categorized properly and everything is accounted for, right? So again, the cash flow statement from a tax perspective, it really doesn't give any information for taxes, but it definitely helps you in your planning going forward. And then one thing I will say, what it may do, it's going to help you say, if I notice that we're going through a lot of cash, how can I preserve my cash? Do I need to take out a line of credit? Do I need to check on my customers to see if they are paying me on time? Do I need to hire somebody to check on those people? Because you think about it, if you're paying somebody hourly wage to get your money back from services that you already rendered, I would say that was a proper return on your investment. So you have to think about those things. How can you keep your cash in your bank account? That's what the cash flow statement is for, so you can plan properly. And also, you might be spending money on expenses you probably don't even need. There might be some services that you're double paying that you can consolidate. The opportunities are endless, right? But you're not going to know that unless you have an expert to help you with that. All right. So I hope that the cash flow statement talk, I told you it's going to be a little tough, but I got your back, right? Because I want to see you win. All right. So the cash flow statement talk, that is what we're talking about. The water in the tree. Make sure we're feeding that business so it can give us pretty ripe and delicious fruit. All right. So I hope that blessed you. CEOs, if you don't have a clue about the cash flow statement, if you watch this video and you're like, child, I don't know what this woman talking about, you need to click the link in the description and download the 3 financial mistakes CEOs make in their business. I have detailed action steps to make sure that your business is set up properly for tax liability purposes, that you're saving as much on taxes as you should be. If you are generating the income that you should be generating from your business, and if you're paying out and maintaining good standing with your vendors and your creditors, right? So make sure you download that checklist, click the link below in the description, and as always, get in position, you guys. Take care.